Hey, pal.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You all right?
All good. I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, Tom, mate. How's lockdown been treating you?
Um, it's been okay. It's
Yeah,
been a little bit boring, but I've been kind of venturing out and doing other things.
I do. It's still been working, or?
Yeah, yeah. I do like 1 or 2 days a week, and the rest is just furloughed.
Ah, oh, fair enough.
It's a bit. It's one of those, because it's all takeaways. So
Yeah.
there's no point of us being open 7 days.
Oh, no,
Mm,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well,
mm.
firstly, thank you so much for doing this. This is actually the closing episode for Music Talk, so it'll be the last one of Series 1. So
Oh,
let's make
brilliant!
it good. No pressure or anything.
No, no.
Not at all.
I
no,
don't do these that often. So.
no, oh, that's fair enough. I've obviously seen on Facebook you've been doing a lot more with guitar than what I've seen drums at the moment. So you enjoying that a bit more than drums recently, or?
Um, what it is, my drum kit is in my granddad's house.
Right.
So accessing the drum kit is quite difficult. So I have pads and stuff here
Okay.
that I can I can warm up on and
Yeah,
stuff. But,
just not the
but
same.
drumming, I can't really do it here, which is sad. But you know, it's one of those. It's one of those. It's a
Yeah.
pill I have to swallow.
Oh, God bless you, mate. So I see you've got a little Marshall stack in the background. Just been plugging into that.
Yeah, I've got quite a lot of guitar stuff. Really, there's a load of guitars over there.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, yeah. There's a Marshall. I've got a Laney as well. Yeah, I've got a load of guitar stuff. I've been playing guitar since I was since I was like 13.
Oh, wow. Okay. When did you start playing drums?
Uh, Probably a year later.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay. What first got you into it then? Like, what first got you playing guitar or drums?
um, I think the guitar thing. Um, well, around that time, I was getting into music properly.
Okay.
So when I was about 13, I was sort of dipping my feet into the whole music thing. And there was my auntie, my uncle. They had loads of records, like
Okay.
all heavy metal and hard
Yeah.
rock stuff, all
Brilliant.
classic stuff. And then they lived next door to us, so I would always go next door and just absorb all this
Okay.
music from like 50 years ago, all
Yeah.
this. So basically, what happened was I was like, I'm gonna play guitar. It's really cool.
Okay.
But I went to school and there was other guitar players, and they were better than me, and what happened was I used to go to the music room in
Yeah.
school, and you'd have all the people like sort of competing who's going to be
Yeah.
better and all that stuff. And then they were like, "Dad, no, just go on the drums." So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so I ended up I just went, I can't play drums. Anyway, went on the drum kit, and I was like, everyone was like, "No, you're really good. Like, keep doing it." So it was one of those. It was just like a bit of a fluke. I was just like, "Oh, great," and then
Just picked it
I
up.
sort of, yeah, that was it really.
Did you go for lessons or was it just self-taught?
Um, for the first few years, I was I was just watching, like, people that I really liked, and listening
Yeah.
to records and trying to sort of play like them. But a few years later, so I must have been about 18, 19, and I had lessons.
Yeah.
And that's really helped me
Okay.
because there was things I was doing that I thought, God, I would have never have thought that would hinder me.
Yeah.
So I did have lessons. Yeah, I had a few lessons on like the mechanics of
The
playing.
technical side. Yeah.
And a bit of sight reading. I did a little bit of sight reading.
Okay.
Playing to a metronome, timing, understanding notation.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I did have lessons. Yeah,
and it helped.
it did. But I thought if I go down this route where I'm constantly just doing sight reading, I thought at the time would have hindered me because
Yeah.
I was just an improviser, really.
Okay.
So
Well, I've seen you play live, obviously, and obviously I've seen the videos that you did when you were Cry, obviously now Tora. And one thing that I always watch, because I watch, it probably sounds weird, but from a music producer side, I watch videos numerous times for multiple reasons. I like to listen to the guitars separately, how many guitars are tracked, the drums, what they've done, like where the hi-hat sits compared to the snare and the kick and the toms and the cymbals. And I watch you play, and I watch you when you're in a real, oh god, wherever it was. And the nice thing about you is you aren't, and I don't mean this in a bad way, you're not a technical player, you are a feel player. you
yeah,
you play very much how the song feels, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of people, in my opinion, that don't do that. If people are learning, they will take that as gospel. They will take that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you're just sort of, I'll go there, I'll hit the tom, I'll see what this sounds like.
yeah. I think that stems from uh, but when I didn't have when I started playing, I didn't
Yeah,
have lessons, so it was all. But I listened to a lot of players from like the 50s, 60s, and
yeah,
the drumming then it wasn't like what it is now. In my opinion, it wasn't like to the grid. So you played what if the bass player went one way,
yeah,
you landed not you went with it.
yeah,
You didn't just go right. I'm going to keep time, and then expect everyone to sort of. You kind of like orchestrated the band. So in my head, I've always kind of thought if I'm playing with a band, is if the bass player's going for it, I'm going to sort of push in a little bit. And so I think a lot of it actually, if you listen to early Sabbath and stuff like that, you can hear it. So that I
yeah,
think I've sort of absorbed that kind of thing,
yeah.
really.
Well, as I
Um,
say, it was not a criticism. I prefer a feel player. Like if there's a guitarist that plays live,
mm,
one band that I've liked for 15 odd years now, Green Day.
mm,
And I watched Billy Joe Armstrong play live on videos, and I've seen him live a couple of times. And rather than just playing the solo, he will then go on and play that scale, but an extra solo, and just do that little bit extra. And
yeah,
that's the type of feel play that I like. You're not structured, and it's just a preference. I love that.
yeah. I think music's got to be what's the word? It's got to have scope. It's got to be open for differences. Like when you play live, it's going to be totally different to when you. I
To
probably don't play one bar the same. It's kind of whatever feels right. I know basically what I'm playing, but
yeah.
what feels right. If I feel like I'm putting this here, yeah, I'll do it.
Do you ever get the occasional
Um,
look from Sam or Dylan, just be like, "What are you doing?"
yeah, if I've gone for something that's a bit all toward
Yeah.
Abdul, Dill's playing,
Oh god.
and he might get a little glance
Yeah, just a
when he
little.
turns around or something.
Yeah.
But we've been playing together for over 8 years.
8 years.
So yeah, it's gotta be.
Wow.
So me and Dell, like, I mean, when he his rhythm, I kind of just lock onto it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's
And
good that bands like that can gel. And I said this to Dylan when I interviewed him the other week. Bands like Cry, Natura, um, they you have a certain feel about you when I saw you live. And obviously, I've only seen you the once, but as soon as you're gigging again, I want to come and see you again because I loved it. I just loved the atmosphere of it. You gelled together. you'll get bands who will go to rehearsal, they'll play 20, 25 songs, be like, okay, great, awesome, thanks, see you guys at the gig. You guys, you can tell that you're friends, you can tell that you get on, and it's nice to see things like that, because I don't think there are many bands at the moment who are friends, as bad as that might sound, but they might get on,
Yeah.
but you can tell that they're not as close as you guys, because you guys, as I say, you gel, you get on.
Yeah, I guess for some maybe it's a little bit like a job. Like, you know, each person's got their job in the band and that they do that, and when they come together it works. Great. But yeah, with us, we, you know, like I say, I've been working with Dole for years. Pre-Cry. So, you know, we were doing covers. We were in a cover band at the time. So we'd do like loads of shows, and we'd always be pushing the boat. So we'd be like wanting to, we'd play like something typical, but we would just kind of make it our own. Okay. So I was, you know, so we've got like a strong relationship in that way, you know.
Yeah,
as friends.
Fair enough. Have you known Sam for as long?
I haven't. I've met him occasionally.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, but Sam was a friend. Well, he was a friend of Darren's. You know, like around that time, him and Sam were always speaking. But I just never really seen Sam as much as Dell.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Sam lives further away, so it was just one of those, you know, really. But me and Sam, we lock in on stage and we have a laugh.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, obviously you've got your own songs out. Do you write any of your own songs? I've seen that you do the instrumentals on the guitar, but do you write lyrics to anything?
For Notora?
Or just in general?
Just in general. Yeah, I intend to do something with the ideas that I've been coming up with. Okay. So you know, I've got about 12 ideas, possibly, maybe more. And I write lyrics, but I find that I'm going to have to track some of these things properly, and then come up with more lyrics and melodies and things like that. But yeah, I write. That's one thing that this lockdown's kind of done to me. It's made me go, right, I'm going to sort of utilize that aspect of what I can do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. Where does the inspiration come from the writing then?
Oh God, I you know, I've always had this thing in my head. I wanted to do something aside from drums on the guitar, to kind of like pay homage, I guess, to like a lot of bands from like the 70s and the 80s. You know, there's a load of bands that I really, really like from that era. And, you know, people my age, maybe younger, are not doing that kind of music. So I've always wanted to kind of just do it in honor of that. So, you know, like bands like UFO.
Yeah.
You know, like Magnum are a big influence of mine. You know, there's dozens. I mean, I could go on all day, but that era of music. Rush, big influence.
Okay.
On the guitar. Yes, also.
Okay, so it sort of comes from everywhere.
Yeah. From that era, anyway.
That era. Okay, fair enough. Going back to Notora then, what's your favourite song to play live? And why?
Oh, right, okay. It's possibly it's a toss-up between Brother, and we have another song called Hex, which people haven't heard yet. But Brother, it's got it's the timing. It's got this 4/4 to 6/8.
Oh God!
Thing. If you listen to, And when we recorded that song, that's my favorite actually to play
Yeah.
for that reason. But when we recorded it without a metronome and live.
Oh wow. Okay.
So when you listen to the recording that we've got, there's no metronome to it. It's just me playing with the band, but it's live.
Yeah.
But when most people don't think that, and they listen to it. But it was actually recorded live. So that's probably my favorite one at the moment to play.
Wow. And what studio was that in?
That was in Parr Street in Liverpool.
Yeah, they've just closed, haven't they?
Yeah, unfortunately, but we're still in touch with the guy who does the recording for us.
Yeah.
And he just does it. He gets us. So
yeah,
it would have been a shame if we'd have lost that, really.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always good to stick with someone who knows your sound. I said this to Dylan the other week. I went to a studio. I think you've been to them as well, because I messaged him afterwards anyway. And I said to the person in this studio, I want bass, piano, drums, vocals, and next to no guitars. The track that I got back had piano completely taken out near enough, and just full on lead guitar. And it wasn't the sound I was looking for. It was wrong. And so going to the guy that you're with from Parr Street, it's nice when you get things like that who understand what you're looking for.
Yeah, no, it's it's a pleasure to be able to find somebody who gets that, and I think with us, we're quite peculiar players.
Okay.
So like when we went to the studio, I'm quite oldie woldy with my stuff. So I don't use dampening or everything's natural. It's just tuning that makes it sound good. And I thought, is this guy going to just totally demolish my sound, But because you don't know. So anyway, we went there and he just went, no, this guy, I remember him saying, he went, Dull told me, he said, this guy plays like Bonham. He likes Bonham. He likes those kind of drummers.
Okay.
So we're going down that route.
Yeah.
We're not going to, he was just like, that's what he does. And he just, he embraced it, and he embraced everybody's, playing really well. And he just made it into this thing. So I would probably say he had a big part of kind of producing the sound as well.
Oh, fair dues to him. Well, going again back to you. You play guitar, you play drums. Are you artistic in any other way?
Artistic? I guess can you call baking an artistic form?
I suppose you can, yeah.
Yeah. I'm creative. I'm miserable if I'm not creative. I've got to be creative. I've got to be doing something that's creative. So,
do you ever get any fads? Like, oh, I'm going to do this today, start it, and then next day just like,
let's think. Not really. No. I kind of stick to things. I'm quite. If there's something I'm very like passionate about or get a bit of enthusiasm about it, I'll proper home on it and usually don't give up.
Oh god, I'm the opposite. Sometimes I could get really excited about something one day and then next day just be like, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes.
That's it. I mean, I guess some things, but generally, I love cars.
Yes.
Always love cars. So like,
you do your own cars up, don't you?
Well, my family are quite mechanical. So my brother's like, he's he likes his cars. My dad likes his cars.
Mm.
So between us all, we kind of chip together and make it all work. So
yeah. What's your oldest car that you've got?
It's an A35 Austin. It's from 1959.
Wow. Okay.
So she's pretty old, like.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Still driver?
Yeah. At the moment, obviously with the weather, she's in the shed. So I don't like to take it out with the salt weather and ruin it. But yeah, definitely, it's great. If I could drive it every day, I would. There's no seat belts or anything, like,
Oh, okay. I mean,
so but I'd still drive it.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you got any stories that you could share, sort of from the tour and cry, from the road, from studio sessions that are hopefully PG?
From the road. Oh yeah, I'll tell you this one. You'll like this one. We were playing a show in Sheffield,
okay.
And it was a good gig, and we were leaving the next day. We put all the stuff in the van, and it's got like a sliding door, and Sam got his hands stuck in the door, and we had another gig, I think, that day, and he like I think we did, but and I think buggered his hand up.
Oh no!
And but what was weird was he didn't tell us that he got his hand stuck in the door. So we would sort of sat there like and Dell turned around and Sam's there trying to get his hand out the door, and it was just hilarious because he didn't tell us that he got his hand stuck in the door. And there's me worrying about whether we're going to be able to do it.
Play that out.
He's done his.
Were you able to?
I think so. I can't remember what happened after that, but I think he had to rest for a while.
Oh no!
So that was really unlucky. But there's loads of stories.
Yeah. Anything like that happened to you? Do you think? Or?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky.
Okay.
I've been pretty lucky. I've been doing this for 15 years, so there's dozens of things I've seen. But no, I've been pretty lucky. I've actually played gigs for, I've had the flu, and
okay.
I've been really unwell. Really unwell. But show must go on, as they say. So I just get on and play, sweat it out.
Yeah.
Go home.
Fair dues to you, and you get the likes of Justin Bieber, who has a little cough and can't play.
I know.
Poor thing. I know. God bless him. Jumping on to something that's obviously allowing us to talk at the moment, the internet. How do you think the internet has affected music, not just as a genre, but as an industry?
I think it's changed how how bands are marketed on a huge level.
Yes.
Obviously, bands are still do their normal thing in reality, not in the virtual world. But generally, I think the whole marketing process and getting a band known, it's turned it turned it upside down into what it used to be.
Yeah.
You got.
Just about to say, it used to be, you go to a pub, here's my demo, here's my card, call me if you like it, sort of thing. And now it's hi, here's our YouTube, check it out, send.
Yeah, when I started playing, you had MySpace.
Yeah.
So that even then, we all we knew that it was changing things from what it used to be, but you adapt to it. I think there's pros and cons to it.
Okay.
I think the internet is great because it allows smaller bands to just freely, advertise their music and get the music out there and create a platform. But you need to have a skill to be able to do that. Some people need to know how to market a band online. It's a skill.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's definitely competitive now. Is you can have a great band, but if you can't market it properly, using the internet, it's a big downfall. I think.
Completely agree. I agree hugely. You can get you can get a band with a certain name. This is why I like Natura, because it's just completely different. But you can get a band with a certain name, and might not a new band might be quite naive about it and not think that there's another band with that name. And then all of a sudden, you go onto Spotify. They put their songs on Spotify. They've got this brand new song that they think is absolutely incredible. It could be absolutely incredible, but if there's another band on Spotify with the same name 20 times, you're not going to get heard. So I get where you're coming from in the likes of you've got to be clever about it. You've got to know where to put your stuff as well.
That's right.
That's the main thing. What would your advice be then to someone who's starting out, or to someone who's just joined a band or trying to get their music out there? What's your advice to them with your experience?
From my experience is stick at what you know is best for you. So if you enjoy playing a specific way, or you really and that's what makes you want to do it, don't stray from it because your mates think it's not great, or they're not into it. You have to stick to your guns. So for me, that's something I would always tell anybody is stick to what has made you do it initially, and stay true to that. And another thing is if you want to improve, is play with as many people as you can. I've played with hundreds of people probably, and I don't realize it, but I've probably taken a little bit of something from every single one of them.
Yeah, well, the first time I saw you play live, you were with Free Falling. You were covering for their drummer, I think. That was 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, it might be actually.
It was at Connors Quay, wasn't it? It was at the cricket ground.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe. I think.
Yeah, I think we did quite a few gigs. It was really good fun because obviously doing originals. That's what I want to do. Yeah. But it was really cool to just kind of go, no, I'm in this. Not sure what I'm doing. Kind of, we're doing some covers. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna. It was great to sort of let my hair down with that.
Yeah, having playing something that's already been written for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I find that as a drummer, sometimes it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Because for me, playing with any band is fun. So I love playing. Yeah, I could play in a country band, or I'd love that, or if we were playing like low key jazz or something like that, I'd love that. The only things I can think of that I wouldn't be so great at is like death metal or something like that. Probably wouldn't be so great.
Well, I'll keep you in mind if I start a country band.
Yeah. Anything like that. I love playing with brushes. Jazz players, a lot of jazz players that have, just influenced me over the years.
Yeah.
So that kind of style of music, really, I'm all game for doing in the future.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, what's next for you guys then? Because as I say, I spoke to Dylan the other week. You got a couple of things in mind, but what about yourself? Are you still going to carry on writing on guitar, maybe poach it to the guys sort of thing? Or?
Well, I think Well, Dill knows I'm, you know, I write my own stuff. I
Yeah.
think he's probably happy I'm doing so because it's keeping me sane.
Gives him a break, I suppose.
Yeah, so you know, I've actually demoed a few things with Dill.
Okay.
You know, when we could,
Yeah.
you know, when lockdown, when we didn't have lockdown, I was doing it then. I was
Yeah.
actually doing it pre-pandemic. So yeah, no, I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
brilliant.
see any harm in it.
No, of course not. No,
So
as I
you
say,
might see some stuff from me. I don't
yeah.
know.
No, that's brilliant. As I say, thank you so much for doing this. It really means a lot. It's
Oh,
been
no,
great speaking to you as well.
yeah, it's always great to talk about music.
Oh, of course, always.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
that's brilliant. All right. Have a great
All
day.
right, Dan.
All right.
Take
Have a
care.
good one. See you, mate.
Bye, man.
Bye.